The 74Z speeder bike was a model which saw service during the Clone Wars, and then later used for the Galactic Empire in combat and for reconnaissance purposes. During the Galactic Civil War, they were usually piloted by Scout Troopers. Scout Troopers, also known as Biker Scouts, were specifically trained Stormtroopers of the Imperial Army Stormtrooper Corps. They were used by Galactic Empire on a range of missions, which mostly involved reconnaissance. They had lighter armour than standard Stormtroopers, much like their urban counterparts, Patrol Troopers. Hello, welcome to another Centurion's Corner, and today we're reviewing the Bandai Speeder Bike and Biker Scout kit. So, when I got introduced to these, I was having a look at them and I thought, brilliant, you can just put them together, but realising that you had to paint them, put them together in a different language, I thought it was going to be a little bit daunting. But actually I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's quite simple to use. If you think it's going to be very complicated and everything like that, it's not going to be complicated at all. I mean, this is my first kit I've ever made. I'm not some sort of like rocket scientist or anything like that, you know. I built Lego and that's about it. But yeah, I mean, straight away off the bat it was really easy to follow. The instructions are just nice and simple, and it was just kind of like you have a couple of trays. One was A, B and C, and it would just say you need A1, and then you just go down, find number 1 in the A tray, and you connect it to the other one, and you just make it up in small little parts and individual parts, and literally it's foolproof. You can't get it wrong. But the big thing for me as well was kind of like having to paint this as well. I mean, I was a bit worried that I just wouldn't do anything justice to it. You know, I know, yeah, I've done the Clone Troopers and stuff like that, but I mean, it's just kind of like a bare-faced kind of figure, and you just got to put a couple of colours on it, you know. And this is, I've got to make it kind of look realistic. I can't make it look really bad. I can't make it, you know. So yeah, in some ways I thought it was a bit daunting. Like, I didn't really want to sort of light paint it. I thought maybe if I can get it out of the box and it look all right, that'd be great. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. It was very sort of a dull light grey plastic, and the brown for the speeder bike was a little bit off. And obviously there was a few extra bits that were required on the Biker Scout as well that you need to do. And they do come with these sort of two types of lot of stickers. So we've got stickers here, and these are all the decals and all that to put on there. But I had a bit of problem here, which is the sort of like I suppose like the breathing area for the Biker Scout, which is just underneath his visor, just there, and it amount of times it just kept popping off. So I had to sort of glue it down with that cement stuff that I was using and just hold it in place until literally it just sort of set. And there's some other bits as well. We've got some other sort of stickers here that go for his nose part, and the thing is that it's all sort of bobbly, so if you're going to put a sticker on it, you're going to cover up the details. So I didn't really want to do that. They come with these other ones as well, which is kind of like transfers. I watched a tutorial online, and you keep them in the warm water for 3 minutes, and then you just place them on and sit them on there. They did have a solution as well, kind of like a glue, but again, it was just something I didn't really want to use because it just, I don't know, they just didn't want to work very well with these stickers and stuff. So I still might end up using some of these sort of little other details there, but I've gone on Google and I literally sort of every single bit of kind of detail that I could find, I try putting on there by paint. So anyway, that's enough of me blabbering on about all that. We'll get straight into it now, and we'll start looking at the figure. So we can go over what he comes with. We go through his standard stuff like his accessories and everything, and his articulation. So with the Biker Scout, it doesn't really sort of come with much accessories, but it does come with separate hands and stuff that we can change out. So we can change his hands. It comes with separate hands, and they just like come out on a little tiny peg, and you've got to put all these gloves together as well, and put them together. I think it's just literally, it's just the main hand, and you've got this like glove area here, and it just clips in just nicely, just like that. So he comes with an open hand if you wanted him to put that in, so we can just pop that into his little hole just like that. So yeah, I mean, they're pretty cool. He comes with his gun again that you have to put together, comes in 3 bits. And yeah, I mean, the detail on these and the way they clip together, I mean, I was expecting it to be like, I mean, the last time I used the model kit was those old snap-on kits that are sort of quite good in the 80s, but yeah, I mean, everything you put together, it just clicks and it just all works. It's just weird, like seeing something so well put together that's so small. So this is his other sort of biker scout hand, so he can hold on to the handlebars, and this is his trigger hand. Let's just get that in there, get that in shot. But to put the gun in his hand, we need to take it apart, and which comes in like that, and then we just place the gun inside his hand and put that and close it in together, and then that's his shooting hand. You can just plug that straight in, and there we go. Lovely. And that's his accessories. I'll just take that hand off, put the flat hand on. So, and that can also fit into the little holster as well on his boot. So with all that, we can go over his articulation as well. And these figures, you think as a model kit that they wouldn't have much articulation at all, but yeah, I mean, they put the Black Series kind of really to shame, really. But you know, I wasn't expecting them to sort of move much, or I thought they'd be a bit stiff and a bit sort of thing like that. But actually, like, these characters are really easy to pose. They feel, it's weird, like it kind of sort of defies sort of gravity or strange things, because they're sort of stiff, and when you put them in places, they're there, but they just feel so loose, and you can just move them and manipulate them in any kind of way you like, but it stays in that position that you put it in. It's kind of a bit weird, you know, like sometimes you've got a Black Series and they're so hard to just put into a position that their arm wants to sort of bounce back down. But with that, so his head can go back and forth, and he can sort of look left and right, and he's kind of got a rotation up on the top of the neck up there, but he's also got this sort of hinge at the front, so he can kind of sort of do like a duck walk. So you've got all that kind of sort of maneuverability there. Go down to his arms. These can move up, so you can get extra kind of sort of movement around in there. And I did have a problem with one of the shoulder bells, as I said, in the work in progress, and I just had to glue one in place. But since it's been glued, it's been absolutely fine. And his hinge, they're on like a butterfly kind of hinge, so they can come out. This is where they look a little bit weird, though. I must admit, on these model kits, like the arms do look a little bit strange, and I don't like seeing extra bits like this stick out. I rather keep it as real as possible by pushing it right in, and then just manipulating the character to the best I can with that, or if it's hidden away. But yeah, I mean, it can come right out, and so he can bring his arms right around. He's got a rotation just below his shoulder, and then he's got a double hinged elbow, which then there's no rotation at the lower, but you can rotate his wrists around. But there's not really like a hinge on there. There's a little bit of flat, but as soon as you push it down anymore, it's just going to pop out. He does have upper sort of like chest rotation, not all around, but it's enough to sort of turn, and he can look up and look down. And he's got a slight rotation at the belt, and again, that can move and be being manipulated, but some of the joints might pop out. And then going down to his legs, they can move up this far, and he can go back this far, and again they can pop out, and they can do a bit like what the shoulders do. So you can sort of lower them down, move them up, just inside that hinge. And you've got an upper thigh rotation. We've got a sort of near enough of like a double jointed knee. And then we got a kind of sort of like a rocker on the ankle, and it kind of rotates. You can slightly pivot, but you're not going to get a lot out of that. So that's his articulation. I mean, to be honest, it's got quite a lot more points on there than the Black series. So if I ever do get the Biker Scout kind of archive, I'd be quite interested to do a side-by-side comparison. I think this guy might turn up a little bit taller than the others. I've got a Stormtrooper just here, and you know, it's not too far out of sort of size comparison, but he is a little bit taller, but he will be sitting on the bike anyway. So, but again, you know, we can have troopers that are over 6'2" or whatever. You know, we can pretend he's 6 foot, and then yeah, it just looks fine. And you know, even like the detailing on there, just it fits in really well with like the Black series if you wanted them on your shelf. And with that, we go over his sculpt as well. So with the helmet, you got the bit in the side there, that's actually a sticker, and it was quite hard to place in there really. It might be best as you're creating the actual character is put the stickers on, but as this is my first, I didn't know really what I was doing. I painted the inside of his sort of mouth area, just combining blue, white and black, just to get that kind of sort of bluey grey that they have. Painted inside his ears and those black. The visor and all that's kind of like I've got a see-through kind of sort of thing on there, but that's already the plastic anyway. Had to put that grey on the side there for his sort of visor movement. Got a sticker there on the side. On the back I'd put the stickers on there for his helmet part. And his grille there, I just basically painted it black and then went over it with cocktail stick and just took off the excess so the black stayed inside the grille, and then kind of weathered it a bit. And this side doesn't have it, it's just plain white. And on his back I did the red stripe just on the top of his kind of sort of tank there, and I had to paint in the black line across his back. So literally I just completely covered it in black and then chipped away so the black stayed in there. Looking at some reference pictures as well, like on his belt, there's actually no details for this character on the back of his belt. It's just a plain white. But looking at the reference pictures on there on Google, I noticed that he had like a black button and these sort of little stripe bits here, so I just painted those on. And I had to paint the grey areas there on these tubes, and these belt clips there I painted black, and also the little T-bits in his arms, because if you look up close you can actually see that they've actually got some details in there. And so if you're putting a sticker on that, it's just literally going to cover it up. So yeah, I think sometimes painting might be the best way to go. Again, I've done the same what I did on the helmet on this little grille. It didn't work too well, but I thought it worked enough that from a distance it just looks fine. Same grey inside there, a little paint. And yeah, just used the weathering kits and a little bit of paint on there to make the chips. And so this is like the Tamira weathering master kits that are placed on there. Just done a lot of black and then just went over it with sort of like the woodland kind of sand, light sand and mud kit, just to put it all up there. So I painted these little clips again on his belt, and we go down to his boots, his holsters, and he's also got his feet. So yeah, I mean, these are quite cool. You know, like these are not robust as your sort of Black Series figures. It does feel like a model kit. It is very light, but I must admit I'm quite impressed with these, and especially when, you know, like the price of Lego and all that at the moment, you know, and you can actually build these and make it your own. It's pretty cool. So he comes with a stand, and unfortunately I think I might have thrown away his little foot stand. There's a little foot stand that he comes with. I've been filming quite a few videos recently, so I've had quite a lot of bits around, and I had it and now it's gone, and it just fits in there. But to be honest, it doesn't really need a foot stand, and this is horrible and black, so I probably wouldn't use it anyway, and it will probably go in the bin. But they come with like these extra little bits here, So I suppose if you get quite a few of these characters, you can actually put that on there and actually put another stand next to it, and they clip together. So you could actually have like your sort of Imperial squad together, which is quite nice. But also it can connect to the stand for your Biker Scout just down here. So sorry, your speeder bike. So you can have him standing next to it. But to be honest, if he's going to be next to it, he's going to be on it. So the other accessories that it comes with, we've got the speeder bike, and we've got these extra little flaps here. So I'll take you through the speeder bike. So with the kit of this, it was really nice putting it together. It was just everything that you put in, you don't realise the details and everything there. Everything you put on is connected to something else. Everything like clicks in, pushes in. It's kind of surreal, really, how it sort of works. But yeah, it's pretty nice. So I've just gone around, I sort of blackened the edges a little bit, and then just done a bit of dry brushing on the ends just to get the silver in. And then I used the boot polish as well to do like the bigger areas. So I just put a bit of paint, boot polish on the paintbrush, and then just smeared it over, and then used a blank brush as well, just to sort of smear it across. And yeah, I think it worked out alright. I used a cocktail stick to do these tiny little triangles in there. And I kind of use a sort of like a black silver wash over the actual plastic, just to give off that kind of metallic look. The colour's pretty much there, but it was just a quick wash over it. So yeah, it's just to give that extra part there, and a few little chips and scrapes. And then going up, because I thought this bit was the main part that's going to be sort of flying up fast. Things are going to be hitting it and chipping it. So that's why I sort of scuffed at the bottom quite a bit, and got a lot of black going into these holes. So it's kind of building up over time. And then we got up to the controls, and we got all the dots, and we got all these other little tiny controls as well. They can actually slightly move. I mean, they might fall out, but yeah, they can actually move the way they're sort of put in there. They kind of rock a switch, which is quite nice. And I've done all these little red dots that are on here and there, and just covered all that as well. And using Tamira and boot polish as well, just done a bit more into the grooves and painted the switches. And while we're here, we've got the handlebars. They don't really move, they just kind of sort of sit in this sort of area. I had to glue in the kind of brake parts on the side because they just kept falling out. But yeah, we got the little red dot on the side there, and yeah, looks really nice. So on the side there, got more sort of scuffs as we're burning up. I'll take it off the stand for now, if it comes out. There we go. Yeah, so we've got the scuffs on this side. I did a bit more black around here, just so it kind of looks like, you know, it's got the burning marks and stuff. And then just a bit of silver brushing around just on the inside. I kind of sort of darken, put a bit more black up the top there, just so it hides it all. And yeah, just so it just looks a lot darker. And we've got his foot pedals as well. Just done a bit of silver brushing on the side, just to say it looks like a bit like chipped. And on the engine as well, on the inside. Yeah, it's just really nice. I've done got some scrape marks as well, so it just looks like it's hit a tree as it's gone past. And I was a bit worried about doing this satchel as well. Like, I've never done, literally, I'm really quite chuffed how it's all turned out, but I've never done anything like this. But literally, where all the creases were, I just did a bit dark and just built it up as around the edges and stuff like that. So yeah, and painted the straps as well and the little silver buckles on there. So just took my time just painting it and doing all that. And we got the engines at the back, so I did a bit of airbrushing just over the sort of like exhaust parts there. And yeah, it's turned out alright. These ones here, I mean, this is the colour that they originally were, so it's not too much difference. Kind of a bit of a metallic and the black paint that I used, and these are interchangeable. you can take these out, and these ones are flap, so you can have a flap down or a flap up, but I kind of like them with the flaps up, as he looks like he's burning through the trees, so I just kept those in there. But these you have to glue these in because they just keep falling out otherwise. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm really chuffed how it's turned out, and I think it looks brilliant, and I'd like recommend these to anyone really, just because they're just fun to make. Everything that you see you have to put together, you clip it together, just all these pipes and stuff there. I did have a little problem with this as well. One of these clips down here broke, because obviously the figure, you're trying to put him in there and put his feet on there, and it's only held together by these tiny little clips. And I do miss like the old days of the old Kenner one where you could sit it down on the old feet, but yeah, it kind of kept popping out, and I tried gluing it and then it snapped off, but I just glued it straight back on and it's fine. But yeah, like, it's not too bad. So I hope you guys like that. So that's the speed bike. I just put it on its side because and then it come with the brown stand, and I went out in the garden today. It's actually the glue's come away from there, but I put a bit of plant on there, but it looks like it's dying already. But I went out and got some little dried leaves and just glued those on there, and just painted. Oh, there goes a bit of the bush. But yeah, just painted this up. I didn't want it too grassy because obviously it's indoor, it's a forest. So we've got still got bits of the brown, which I just painted over with extra different colours of brown and stuff like that, just to pink it up. And then the tree, I've done a bit of like a green wash down the side just to give it a bit of a moss. And I gave it, once I painted it brown, just did a black wash over it just to highlight the tree bits. And yeah, I mean, I think everything there has turned out really well. And then, oh, the bike does actually have another part which is there. So the stand would normally pop into these holes, but you can just plug that in there if you wanted, or not. But it just covers up the holes there. But to be honest, there's no way of standing it at all. So the only way of standing is putting it on the stand. It's a bit stiff, but there we go. Once it's in, it's fine. So there he is. I mean, yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I will be getting another one soon. I'm really kind of eyeing up the C-3PO and R2-D2 because I really like the C-3PO where he's like really gold. So stay tuned for more if I do any more. But guys, this has been my review of the Bandai kit. I mean, are you going to pick one up? Are you interested in picking one up now? Does this kind of sort of change your mind from a few of the Black Series figures that you was thinking about getting these in Bandai? Let me know down below. Comment. You can follow me on Instagram. You can do all that. And I'll see you next time. Bye.